Well, looking for a way to get spring started on the right foot? How about decluttering?
That sounds good. Cindy Jobs, president of Seattle's National Association of Professional Organizers, joins us now. Cindy, when you say get organized, it's big, it's overwhelming. You think, I don't even want to get started, right? So let's start with some measurable ways that people can actually get the ball rolling.
Absolutely. As we know, most people don't get disorganized in a day. So chances are they're not going to get organized in a day.
Yes.
But if they don't start, they'll never finish. So when I work with my clients, the first thing I ask them to do is set a date to start. It's really important to make a commitment to yourself to say, I'm going to start this process on Saturday or on the 15th of April or whatever it is. But you need to set a date to start. Once you set that date, a lot of balls need to get into motion. We need to talk about what's the plan. Where are you going to start? How many hours a day are you going to try to work? What are you going to do during the week? What room? Are you going to need a friend? Are you going to need some help? It's really important, but the first thing is let's find a day to start. Commit to yourself to start. Then once you commit to that date, make your plan to be effective and efficient in the process.
It's like an appointment you can't cancel.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
The thing is, everybody organizes a little bit differently. So how do you go about that? How do you know which way is best for you?
Well, what I tell my clients is, again, you're working on, most people say, I need my whole house organized. So what I say is start with the thing that's going to be most impactful to you. So what's the first thing you do in a day? If the first thing you do in a day is make coffee, then make sure your coffee setup is perfect. If the first thing you do in a day is get up and get dressed, make sure your closet is functional and it's clean and it's efficient for you. You know where things are. If the first thing you do in a day is get up and go to the bathroom and take a shower, then make sure that you have all the things that you need to do that the most effectively. Then you moved on to the next thing. So if the first thing's coffee and the next thing's closet, set up your coffee zone, then go fix your closet.
Okay, and how do you get the whole family on board? Because it's one thing if I get organized, but you know, if hubby and my son are not pulling their weight,
well, just like anytime we work in teams or in groups, what do we have to do? We have to communicate and we have to compromise. So anytime you're working, organizing within your family household, the first thing you need to do is communicate that this is a new thing. I'm going to try to get organized and this is why. This is going to help us as a family. Then you need to really compromise. Personally, I do most of the cooking in my house. I like to have the counters completely clean. Unfortunately, my husband doesn't see that same vision. So within the kitchen, but that's the first place he goes when he comes home. So we've compromised and said, you know, this particular area that I don't use when I'm cooking is yours to do with what you wish, and I stay away from it. But the rest of it needs to be functional. So you really need to communicate what your goals are, what your family's goals are, what your spouse's goals are, and then compromise.
Okay.
Sounds like a good plan.
Cindy Jobs, thanks so much for joining us.
All comes back.
We will all be setting a date.
That's it. Set the date. Set the date.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.